want to jump into what he did not draw me into. Secondly, I am amazed at the presentation being made by a senior permanent secretary of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to call or to refer to the head of civil service of the Federation as that person. I want to tell Engineer Magaji, I am not that person. Now the comment is making that if that person decides to hold on to a letter, it does not stop him as a permanent secretary from releasing the copy of the letter sent to him for information purposes only. It gives a lot of room for thoughts. Now, the question that the honorable member asked, he said, what is that UFS, does it mean that UFS, a letter that does not follow UFS, is null and void? Or can a letter be rendered null and void because it did not go through the UFS? Yes, that letter, if it does not go through the UFS process, is null and void in administration. In administration, there is order. There are procedures. People, for whatever reason, no matter what they deem to feel they are, cannot jump out of established processes. Under flying seal in administration is a procedure used to ensure that the line of authority is followed. Or else, everybody in the service can be jumping around and doing what they like. If an officer is going on leave, he writes, and that leave is approved, it is conveyed to him, UFS, his head of department, and the head of department would endorse before the officer goes on leave. The officer will not jump out on leave simply because his PERMSEC has approved and he could not care a hoot or care a damn that his head of department has endorsed to him. It is not done in responsible service. In the area of even asking for waivers by MDAs, they write UFS, their permanent secretary, their ministry, and the approval sent by Office of Head of Service goes UFS back to that ministry. It also relates to study leave, to promotion letters, and so on. So I believe a senior administrator in the person of the Permanent Secretary Interior would normally respect establishment and the importance of under flying seal. Now, you would also see that there is a letter that I got, it came to my attention. The dismissal letter, which was issued by the Federal Civil Service Commission on 5th of March 2013, with the heading Dismissal from Service, Alhaji Abdullahi Maina Abdul Rashid, Deputy Director, SGL 16, was addressed to the said Alhaji Abdullahi Maina Abdul Rashid under flying seal, that is UFS, the head of civil service of the Federation at that time, Alhaji Sali, and following protocol, Alhaji Sali endorsed this letter to Abdul Rashid Maina. Therefore, it only stands to reason that the reinstatement letter which the Federal Civil Service Commission issued to the said Abdullahi Rashid Maina, UFS head of service, would also have been endorsed by the sitting head of service to the said Abdul Rashid Maina. Refusal to take a copy of the endorsed letter to report at the Interior, and for him to now be given his duties at Interior, if I follow what the PAMSEC Interior did, he issued 2 letters confirming that Abdul Rashid Mena has reported for duty, and he also said to this Honorable House that the decision to take in Abdul Rashid Mena was based on a copy of the reinstatement letter, not the one endorsed by the head of service, but the copy that was sent to his office. And I now brought it to his attention in my letter of 26 October 2017. The Honorable Committee, please, you will see that it is letter number 28, where I said, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, reinstatement into service, Alhaji Abdul Rashid Abdullah Mena, Deputy Director Administration, SGL 16. Further to your letter referenced MI 1436/2/26 on the above mentioned date, on the above mentioned matter dated 24th October 2017, while noting your regrets and error, I wish to bring to your attention the following points of error. 1, the Ministry of Interior acted in error to document and deploy Mr. A.A. Mena by using a copy of the letter addressed to Mr. A.A. Mena from the Federal Civil Service Commission, which was for information only and not to be acted upon. 2, the original letter, which is under flying seal UFS of the Head of Civil Service of Federation, has never been endorsed nor released to Mr. A.A. Mena and is still in my custody. 3, there was no posting instruction from Mr. A.A. Mena to report to the Ministry of Interior from the Office of Head of Service of the Federation. Please, Honorable Chairman, let me add that in the civil service, if you are employed newly or reinstated, as the case may be in this matter, by the Federal Civil Service Commission, the officer who is being brought into the service, either afresh or on a reinstatement, has to report to the Office of Head of Service of the Federation before he's given his posting to the whichever MDA. In this instance, Mr. Mena was never issued a posting instruction to Ministry of Interior. There are so many issues wrong with the process in which Mr. Mena was absorbed back into that ministry, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's okay, the Permanent Secretary wants to apologize.
No, Mr. Chairman, my boss, I didn't mean to call you man or something. I was making a general reference. You know me as a discipline officer, as you said, ma, I have never meant to do that, and I didn't do that. And if you have taken, please, ma, forgive me, I have apologized.
It's okay.
Thank you, Chairman. I had the argument back and front. My PAMSEC of Interior, which I chair. Now, PAMSEC, the simple question is, I asked before, up to this moment, an answer has not been given. The question is, I want to repeat, according to the civil service rules and practice, do you have the power as PAMSEC to employ or reinstate?
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Still to the Permanent Secretary. In fact, the opening statement in your presentation was that you received a letter which we asked for a copy. In fact, I got a copy of that letter from the office of the head of service of the